Alright, so this is the solid axle swap part 4 Nissan Pathfinder. It's a 94 WD21. Doing a solid axle swap. Dana 44, it's out of an 86 Grand Wagoneer. Been a minute since I've done a video. I do apologize. Seems like all I've done lately is work. But I got a weekend off. I got to work on it. Everything's going good. I'll tell you what I've done. I apologize. I should have been doing videos as I've done this, but yeah. So this is it's all on the ground. It's not totally welded up. I'll have someone come over and do welding. I'm not a welder by no means. A few problems that I've ran into with these Wagoneer springs. This was on the rear, this side of the springs. I turned them around so that this is the front and this is the rear. The reason I did that was this is the shorter side of the spring. These are 42-inch springs. One side measures, I can't not remember, but one side's shorter than the other. I flipped them around. I realized that the shorter side was on the rear. That was causing me a big problem. Now I'm clearing my oil pan. That was one of the problems that I've had. Let's see, another thing I learned is on these brakes, the front brakes. This is the Nissan Pathfinder line, and I've got it both bolted up to the Wagoneer caliper. I grounded these ears down. Ground this ear down so that this would fit in there because it was wider than the other one. Ground that down. Then I took the bolt out of the Wagoneer line and bolted this on here. Bled the brakes. The brakes work. They don't leak. That is a cool thing I learned, figured out. Don't know who knows that or if anybody knows that. That's a cool tip. If you don't have a lot of money, whatever, you can use this Pathfinder line on a Wagoneer caliper and it doesn't leak. Brakes work. It's awesome. I was surprised. Honestly, I got to do the steering. I got the pipe to do it. I got some 1-inch inside diameter pipe that'll slide over this. We'll cut this. We'll hook this up, measure it, then we'll put a piece of pipe on there and band-aid it together. You know, maybe eventually I'll order some steering kits from Rough Stuff, but right now that's what I'm gonna do. Get this thing going. I want this on the road this summer. Let's see. Shortcuts, I know they're not a good thing, but you know, did the same thing on this side. Of course, you know, the steering, there are the brakes, it's working. Shocks, I'm using the factory shock mounts. They line up with the shock mounts on the axles from the Wagoneer. It's actually pretty cool. I'm using the factory shock mounts. I may lose up travel because I don't have that big hoop. It comes clear up here. So I may lose up travel. I'm not super worried about it. If I want to, I'll add them in later. But this is going to work now. Another thing I got done is the rear lift. I took some Jeep Cherokee springs out of like a late 80s, early 90s Cherokee. They were a 3-inch lift spring. A guy was parting out this Cherokee. Had 3 different lift springs. I picked them up for $30 for the set. You cut these little pigtails off of them, and they slip right in. They gave me pretty close to 4 inches of lift. Pretty sweet. Show you here. Here's where I cut that pigtail off. Then it slips over this yeah, slips over that. And then they just sit right in there. I use the what do you call them? The rubber pieces on the top of the springs from the old springs. They just sit on the top up here. I'm guessing just to keep them from making noise. Those are the stock springs. I do apologize. I should have been making videos as I've done this. I don't know why I didn't. To do it, I had to take the panhard bar off. Had to undo that, take that off, take the sway bar off. So you can see it's just dangling over there. Took it off. I'm probably not going to hook it back up. I'll probably just remove it altogether. Take that panhard bar off. Take your shocks off. See, I still got one in there, but take your shocks off. Panhard bar. Oh, and then the brake line, the park brake line. So you can see right there, I cut the little, you can just unbolt it. I'll go around. Let's throw it from the other side there. You can just unbolt it. I just cut it. I'm being lazy. I cut it. I can replace it, make something else. That's not a big deal. That way it won't get stretched or bound up if I do flex this out. It should be long enough there. If not, I'll change it. Maybe add some cable on it. Move it all back. Find a new home for the mount there. Wherever it went. I'm not very good at this video and stuff. That mount there. Maybe I'll find a new home for it. Move it back. Add some cable on there. We'll see when the time comes if it causes problems. I plan on lengthening the links eventually. Right now, we'll see what it does. But my plan is to lengthen them eventually. But there you go. I got to do the front drive line still. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do with that. But there you have it. Again, it's been a minute since I've made a video. I'm probably not going to be running the 37s I bought because they won't fit on the rear. If I was going to run them, I'm going to have to totally redo this rear suspension, move this whole axle back a few inches because it won't clear right here. I'm going to trim that, but those 37s hit way too hard. I'll either have to lift it more or, like I said, go leaf springs and move it back was what I was thinking. I'll probably just end up going 35s. But thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like the video. I will be posting some 4-wheel videos to a trip that we went on just here local. It'll be, so yeah, like the video, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. I hope this is all helpful to anybody else that's doing this same thing.